And there it is, pretty easy to track these days. Yes, the hurricane hunters are in there, but this is being picked up obviously by satellite, but also by the Cuban radar system, and pretty soon we're going to be able to pick it up to Miami. So there's no way this eye is going to sneak up on anybody, that is for sure. It's about 700 miles away from us. Notice the hurricane watches and warnings that surround the state, but although the hurricane watches have been extended to Volusia County, not quite yet have been extended for those of us in northeast Florida and southeast Georgia. So we're not under a hurricane watch yet. Here is the new cone of concern and of great concern. Either way, it's going to be catastrophic. That's the official scientific term for a Category 4 or 5. But there is just enough confidence that the hurricane will not be torn up enough by the Cuban coastline and terrain to where this could re-intensify. Now, numerically, we're only talking about a few miles per hour. But still, science is science, and so they want to stay close. The Hurricane Center now forecasting that this could be a Category 5 as it goes right over the Keys, Florida Bay. There has been continued to be a slight shift westward. That's slightly better news for our friends in Miami and Palm Beach, and much worse news now in Naples, because just a slight switch west now means increasingly not only are they going to have those ferocious winds, but they could have quite the ferocious storm surge as well. For us, that continues to slowly but surely. This is now the 5th cone that has come out with the shift over land that initially maybe looked bad, but at least started to decrease the concern for a storm surge, and that concern has continued to decrease. That's why we are not yet under a storm surge watch. Now, I do want to note there's been a lot of discussion that, well, if it keeps going west, could it regenerate? Technically, yes, but actually the farther west this goes is a sign that the system is going to be sheared apart. In fact, right here, notice, and this is due abeam of Jacksonville, right on I-10, right over the northwest part of the First Coast, the official forecast now as a tropical storm. So for the second time in a row from the Hurricane Center, I love this consistency, is we're now seeing the idea of a weakening Category 1 into the southern counties and weakening into a tropical storm for the majority of our area. Now, that has implications as far as when the worst of the weather will go. I'll start with, for those of you over northeast Florida, east of Highway 301, still looking for wind gusts to 75 miles per hour possible, 6 to 12-inch rainfall totals. By the way, for those of you experiencing that wet nor'easter, there's been some pretty heavy rains and a flood warning over portions of St. Johns County. That doesn't have to do with Irma, but certainly we're adding these totals up from the nor'easter because it will cause some drainage problems as we head through, especially Saturday and then Sunday. Surge of 2 to 5 feet. That's why a surge watch has not been issued yet, because that doesn't quite get to significant flooding in the area. Increasingly, this is becoming our concern. Isolated tornadoes, that would be on Monday. Notice the worsening weather later Sunday, and then the isolated tornadoes, that would be on Monday. Going to go now to those of you east of Highway 301 in southeast Georgia, because there is still some concern, although I think lessening, that in the upper estuaries, not on the islands, but in the upper estuaries, there could be a surge of 6 to 10 feet.